The couple with the fewest votes is Leah and Montel.
Oh my god. Is that a joke? Sorry, but you two aren't even a couple. How is this happening?
Not the time, Katie.
Am I the only one who's confused? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is Abby crying? Why is she being so territorial? Is the audacity for her to sort of complain that Mitch is spending more time with the new Ella than he spent with me? Mitch complained the previous night that she spent most of her night with Scott and she only spent 10 minutes with him. So I don't get why she's more tearful now and she's worried that he's going to move on. It makes me, oh God. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 10, Episode 39. So the episode starts off with the results being revealed, and it's revealed that Montel and Leah are going home. Am I surprised? No. Did they have that much of a storyline? No. I think Tink gave them a storyline because they were always in the background. And I think Tink is the reason why they sort of moved to the front, and all the gestures and everything else that's happened with them is as a result of Montel sort of messing about with Tink in the during Casa Amor, and then him refusing to recouple with her, even though he had given her the impression that he was recoupling with her. And for Katie to say why is Scott and Amber still here doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Why is she still in the villa? Her season was season 2. We're now in season 10. What is she doing there? I'm surprised nobody asked her, what are you doing here? You came back. This is not your season. You need to sit down somewhere and wait to be consulted as and when needed. Your opinion is not needed in this matter. That was infuriating for me. And it's like she's on a tightrope. She's on her way out the door. She is. I think she might just be held back by someone like Sammy, but I think next she needs to go home because she's not doing anything apart from being toxic. This is not her season. She does not need to be the breakout star. She needs to allow other people to shine. So Leah is happy to go home with Montel. She says she's found what she came looking for, and for me it's like, unless it's the edit, I really didn't grasp what they've had in common. I really didn't grasp what it is they liked about one another because we barely heard in-depth conversations between Montel and Leah. It was very superficial, him telling her she looks beautiful and her saying, oh, he's everything I want in a man. And so for me, I'm happy they're gone home. If they decide to make it work out on the outside, hey, to each their own, but I really don't see it lasting that long. So then all the islanders are having a conversation. So Sammy and Jess are sort of joking that why are we in the bottom again? Because everybody is shocked that why is it a friendship couple is still in the villa and yet the romantic couples are the ones that are in the bottom or the ones that have been sent home. Everybody can't understand why Catherine is gone home, and it's like, were you not there when she was belittling Scott? Were you not there when she was being rude to Scott? Had she apologized or had you encouraged her to apologize, she'd still be in the villa with you if you wanted her to stay in the villa. You didn't ask her to do that, and so don't be surprised that she's gone home. Obviously, Katie is crying, oh, it's very close to Leah, now I have no one. And it's like, you don't need to be here. You're not being held down to be in the villa. You can go home. You're not being forced to be here. This is not your season. Go home. The girls are just reflecting. Obviously, everybody's upset that 4 people have left. And Logan is saying, oh, very big characters. And it's like, who is a big character out of the 4 that have gone? Who? I'm waiting for someone to say who's the big character. We only got to see Catherine's character once she started having this fallout with Scott. Otherwise, before that, she was very quiet. Yeah, she had a great time with the girls, but she wasn't as a main character energy as someone like Whitney or someone like Ella and Ty or even Jess. So I don't get who Lockham meant by a big character. The islanders go off to sleep, and in the morning Jess and Mitch received messages to say that they will be going on a date with the bombshells. So the new bombshells are Ella, who's Ty's, well, I can't even call her an ex because, well, she's one of Ty's bodies. We'll identify her as that. And Josh, who's a financial advisor. So Josh goes on a date with Jess, and Ella goes on a date with Mitch. I think they looked for the safest options. I think they looked for the couples where they thought there was a rift and there was a chance that they could turn their heads. Mitch, I think, needs to be open to the idea of getting to know Ella, because Abby seems very comfortable and very happy when she's with Scott, but I think she's also very reserved because she's afraid of offending Mitch, and she knows Mitch is so into her, and she's worried that in my opinion, that she's worried that Scott might get his head turned by somebody else, and I think this is why she's not really pursuing it as thoroughly as she should. I think she's more focused on Mitch. And so Mitch on his date, he does mention that he's with Abby, he's enjoying his coupling, and he, but he's still open to getting to know Ella. I think when this conversation started on the date, Mitch was not interested in Ella. But as the conversation progressed and he found a lot of things in common with her, and he loved the sense of humor, and he got to know about her and her, diverse skills and everything that she does, he became attracted to that. And she said she was attracted to him. And the fact that she had singled him out to be her date, because I think his ego had taken a bruising, because Abby kept speaking to Scott and trying to explore that connection. Jess was a bit sort of, she wasn't as standoffish as she was with Scott, but she didn't really seem interested in Josh. And it doesn't make sense to me, because Jess by now knows that Sammy doesn't like her. After seeing the footage on movie night, she knows Sammy doesn't like her. She knows they're in the bottom three because of Sammy. She knows the viewers don't like Sammy. And so the fact that she keeps going on and pursuing Sammy doesn't make sense to me, unless she wants to play victim, unless she wants to leave the villa and play the victim because Sammy has sort of messed about and wasted her time. That didn't make sense. Back at the villa, you have Scott and Abby on their date. They go exercising and they really look cute. I think they look cute. I think she has more in common with Scott than she has with Mitch, but I think Mitch is her safety blanket because she knows he's not going anywhere. Then the islanders return. Obviously, with the new bombshells, and Ty immediately identifies his body. He's Ella, and he says, "Oh, not Ella," and it's like, he's Ella. So Ella 1 is now intimidated that who's Ella 2. And because Ella 1 had already said to the islanders that please do not call her Ella just as you call me. You need to come up with the name of how you're going to address her, because I am Ella. I was here first, and that's how you address me. So they go and sit down, and the guys, are having a conversation, and Mitch says he enjoyed his date and everything he thinks went well, although he did tell Ella that, he is happy with his coupling. Josh said he enjoyed his date with Jess, and Jess told him that she's closed off, and it's like, Jess, I don't even know why she's closing herself off. She's closing herself off with someone who's not interested in it. It doesn't make sense to me. Then Ty reveals that he knows Ella. He's met her at the club, and they've enjoyed themselves 1 or 2 times. Ella sits with the girls. Ella 2 sits with the girls, and she just indicates that yes, she does know Ty, but she doesn't say in what capacity. She talks about her date with Mitch and how she enjoyed her date with Mitch. Jess is still very like, oh yeah, I had a great time, but he said he's open to getting to know you, everybody else, but I'm his number one. And it's like, if you're his number one, why not focus on him? And it's like, you have Josh who's interested in you and who will make you number one, but you keep fighting for crumbs from Sammy, who really just keeps you there as a backup. If at the moment Ella too decides to show him interest, his head is going to be turned. I think Jess needs to move on and go and couple up with Josh and leave Sammy to go back to Amber, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the villa. Mitch can couple up with Ella and Ella too, and Sammy and Scott can couple up with Abby, because I think they make a cuter couple. But then anyway, that's just me. And then Ella too calls Ty for a conversation, and you already see Ella 1 sort of moving around the villa. She's, walking around the villa. She wants to hear what's going on. And oh my God, Ella 2 is going to be a problem for Ty. Is going to be a problem for Ty, because Ty it seems he's fallen in love with Ella, and he really wants to be on his best behavior, but the streets are calling him, and Ella B is not going to make it easy for him, because she was talking about, oh, you remember we were at the club recently, we were kissing, we were this, that, and the other. And Ty became nervous. Because Ella B told him that, I am here and it's going to be a battle of the Ellas. I know you. We've got a history. So whoever wins, wins. And it's like, oh my God, Ty doesn't need this. Ty is already good at creating his own drama. The producers don't need to add anything to his storyline with Ella. And you can tell, Ella 1 is not happy. And it's going to be all out war in the villa, because then Ty lets Ella know. And I'm happy that Ty is the one who told her that, I do know this Ella. We have hung out in the club. We have kissed and this, that, and the other. So it's someone I have history with. And it's like, oh my God, it's going to be difficult. It's really going to be difficult. And then you find that Jess then has a conversation with Sammy, telling him about her date and the fact that she really, it was okay, but she told him that she's closed off, so she's not really that open to getting to know him. Um, Mitch has a conversation with Abby and tells Abby that he enjoyed his date, but he told her that he told her that he was open, but that's because Abby's exploring things. And Abby starts, oh, if you're going to do that, then I'm not happy. And it's like, why are you not happy? She's now in a strop. Mitch is asking her, why are you upset? You've been getting to know Scott. So what's the difference with me getting to know, me getting to know Ella? That didn't make sense to me. That is a red flag. Her behavior there was a red flag, because she then went and was sitting with Jess and was complaining, oh, Mitch has spent all his time speaking to Ella B, and yet I am here, I want to talk to him as well. And it's like, but you've been doing exactly the same thing. Mitch was complaining about you only speaking to him for 10 minutes and then spending the rest of your time with Scott. And the idea that you suddenly want to close off Scott so you can secure Mitch doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Even Jess was right to say to her, don't close off things with Scott, because you are going to close off things with Scott, and then turns out Mitch is moving on, and you're going to be left with no one to talk to. So if I were you, I would continue to talk to both guys. I don't know how I feel about that though, because Scott is always going to be loyal. He's not going to try and sort of chat to the new Ella and chat to Abby if he knows he's got a good thing going on with Abby. This was his problem in the villa with Catherine, in the sense that he didn't pursue Gabby or anybody else because he felt like he was in a good place. And I think because he's very loyal, this is why he didn't move towards anyone else. And so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. It was a very slow episode, and I don't know how to make sense of it, in the sense that I don't get where Abby's coming from. She's coming across very possessive and territorial. Same goes for Ella. And it's like, why do you people need to do that? Imagine you're in a villa where you're all locked in. What happens when you go into the real world? Are you going to put a chain on these people and watch them every single minute? You can't. You have to learn to trust them. And that begins by trusting them in the villa where it's controlled and you can see everything they're doing. By the time you get into the real world, Ella will have to move in no time, will have to go everywhere Ty goes, because otherwise she's always going to be afraid that he's cheating with somebody else. That doesn't make sense to me. Even Abby, she lives down south, Mitch lives up north. What if he starts dating someone up north? How will she know? It's giving red flags, and it makes me nervous for the guys, in the sense that why would they want to continue to date people like this? Maybe they need to move on and they just need to find somebody else who's it for them. Maybe these girls are not it. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.